Yo, 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 what's up with it, world? It's your boy, Steph the Messenger. We back at it, man. And I'm fresh off work, man, just trying to make it happen, man. This is all, self-supported, you know what I'm saying? So I'm, trying to do better at, using this little time that I got, in between not working and making a lot of other things happen, right? To put y'all up on game on what's really going on in the world, right? In regards to end time prophecy, right? Or, Bible truth, right? And as y'all can see on the screen, right? Um, the message of the hour, the subject of the hour is still, putting people on game, right? Um, Regarding, the final events that shall happen before Jesus Christ returns. You get what I'm saying? Because the way things looking, man, we nearing that time. You get what I'm saying? And before Jesus Christ comes back, right? He ain't just gonna boom pop up and it's just gonna happen like that. Neither are we just gonna disappear and it's gonna happen like that either, right? Before Jesus Christ returns, right? Final events must happen and occur, right? One of the final events that shall happen before Jesus Christ comes back that will seal everyone's on earth faith, right, is the mark of the beast, right? So as you can see, we already discussed what the mark of the beast is, right? But if you didn't catch the last episode, we're gonna do a quick review on what we went over in the last episode, right? We learned, right, who the first beast is, right? So when you see this image, like, the one that's on the screen, right, you see a picture of the United States President, Joe Biden, right? And above his head, it says second beast, right? And then you see a picture of the Pope, right? And above his head, it says first beast, right? Um, and this is important because in the book of Revelation 13, right, it doesn't specifically name America, but America is in the Bible. You just have to decode it, right? So instead of the Bible saying America, right, it says second beast, right? Or it doesn't even say second beast, right? The book of Revelation, starting at verses 11 onward, right? Um, it names, one beast, and then after that beast, it names another beast, right? But just so we can, put the beast in proper, perspective, right? So you guys can understand it, right? We're gonna call the beast that refers to the Pope as the first beast, and the beast that refers to, you know, America, right? We're gonna call that beast the second beast, right? And as you can see on the screen, the scripture next to it, right, is Revelation 13, verse 12. And he exercises all power of the first beast before him, right? But we already decoded it in the last podcast, right? Episode, right? We know that the first beast is referring to the Roman Catholic Church power, right? Or the papacy, right? So the first beast is the Roman Catholic Church, and the head of the Roman Catholic Church system is the Pope, right? Um, and the he that verse 12 is referring to is the second beast. The second beast, the United States government system, right, will exercise all the power of the first beast, right? So I just brought up this picture so you guys can clearly see, right, that America is in the Bible, and we know that this beast is referring to America because we decoded everything and connected the dots, right? And nobody but America fit the bill that the second beast and the first beast describes, right? Nobody in history fits the bill. It only applies to the Roman Catholic Church system when it comes to the first beast, right? So it's important that we know, these things, right? And what's to come after this, man? As you can see on the right side of the screen, it says the coming Sunday law, right? So this is a major thing, and a lot of people in this world have no clue, you know, about the Sunday law, right? That's why we're doing things like this, right? So we're going to continue to review, right? So according to Revelation 13, right, the first beast is the Roman Catholic Church system, right? The papacy, right? That's another name for the Roman Catholic Church system, the papacy, right? Um, and the second beast of Revelation 13, as we just went over, is the United States of America, right? So the United States of America is in the Bible, right? And this is important for us to know because a lot of things is going to go down in America, right? And a lot of people ain't going to have no clue on why things are happening the way it is, right? But the Bible puts us on game and gives us firsthand knowledge of what's to come and why it's going to happen, right? The reason things is happening is because the end time prophecy is playing out, right? And prophecy means history foretold by God, right? So before something happened, God says something will happen before it happened, right? And that's called prophecy, right? And as we live in these times, right, the fulfillment of what God foretold will happen, right? We're going to live that out. You get what I'm saying? So that's why a lot of crazy things are taking place, right? Um, Even though it doesn't seem like it. But mark my word, give it time. God's word is going to come true, right? So the second beast is America. The first beast um, is a Roman Catholic Church, right? And then we already established the understanding of what is the image of the beast, right? And this is important, right? Because once we know what the image of the beast is, we can properly identify when it's, when the fulfillment of end time prophecy takes place, right? Um, and what the image of the beast is the combining of church and state power, right? So when the government system, right, combines the state power with the church power, right, that's when the government will be able to enforce religious laws on everybody in America, right? So the image of the beast, right? The beast that we were referring to when we was identifying, what the image of the beast is, right? Um, the original beast was the Roman Catholic Church, right? And the image, right, which refers to the copy, right, of the original, right? So the image of the beast is a copy of the way the original beast ruled, right? And the original beast, right, is the Roman Catholic Church system. And the way they originally ruled, when they ruled the world, right, they ruled by enforcing religious laws upon the whole world, and whoever didn't comply was, they got killed, persecuted, and suffered the consequences, right? And that is what's to come upon this world, right? So the structure in which the Roman Catholic Church ruled, right, is what the image of the beast is, right? um, and based on end time prophecy, America, right, will form the image of the beast, right, and rule the way the Roman Catholic Church ruled. You get what I'm saying? So the image of the beast, right, is church and state power combined, right? Church and state power combined. Right now, church and state powers are completely separate, right? But they're trying to merge them, right? And there's a lot of things that's taking place as we speak, right? That's trying to bring about the union of church and state. And once that happens, then the image of the beast will be in place, right? And as we talk about the image of the beast right now, you guys, this is important because there's a lot of chatter in the world of politics in regards to, uniting church and state, right? And this just further proves um, that end time prophecy is unfolding as we speak, and it will be fulfilled. So this is why I'm bringing it up right now as we speak. You get what I'm saying? The image of the beast, politicians, people in high places are talking about uniting church and state, and bringing that about in America. You get what I'm saying, for the good of America, right? And that is a sure sign that end time prophecy, like we're nearing the end of all things. You get what I'm saying? Um, so yeah, the image of the beast, right? Once again, is church and state united, right? Right now it's separate, right? And what I want you guys to see is many videos that, different politicians are endorsing the the uniting of church and state. This ain't me just making this up. Check this out, y'all.
States congressperson says she is sick and tired of separation of church and state. Here it is.
The reason we had so many overreaching regulations in our nation is because the church complied. The church is supposed to direct the government. The government is not supposed to direct the church. That is not how our founding fathers intended it. And I'm tired of this separation of church and state junk that's not in the Constitution. It was in a stinking letter, and it means nothing like what they say it does.
That woman needs to take a history class.
So if you guys just heard, right, this was real time. I think this was from 2023, right? Check this out again. Pay attention. Remember, the image of the beast is the unification of church and state, meaning a government that has the power, right, to enforce religious laws on everyone, right? Right. So peep game, you guys. I'm gonna rewind it again. And I believe she's in a church, right? So politics and religion uniting, right? That is a short sign, of end time prophecy, right? Politics and religion, right? Because once that happened, that means the image of the beast is on its way. You get what I'm saying? And the image of the beast is church and state united in a government system enforcing religious laws by way of church and state being united. Right now, our government cannot enforce religious laws on, the American people, right? It's a separate power, right? But check this out. I'm going to play it again.
State. Here it is.
The reason we had so many overreaching regulations in our nation is because the church complied. The church is supposed to direct the government. The government is not supposed to direct the church.
The church is supposed to direct the government, is what she's saying, right? And it's interesting, man. Like, God's word is so accurate. You get what I'm saying? That they're trying to get the church to direct the government, right? That means that we are nearing the end of things, and the end time prophecy is unfolding as we speak, right? So when you see pictures like, you know, as we already went over in a previous podcast about, you know, Nicki Minaj dressed up as the harlot of Revelation 17, right? And then one of her albums was called Roman Reloaded, right? Because Rome is going to come back in power by way of the United States government, right? You know, the United States government is going to get everything, they're tailoring everything, right? Get everything in place for the return of the Roman Empire, the Roman Catholic Church to rule, right? As we just saw in Revelation 13, verse 12. And he exercised all the power of the first beast before him, right? Which is America. And the first beast that was before um, the America is the Roman Catholic Church beast system, right? And he causeth the earth and them that dwell in them to worship the first beast, right? So everybody on earth, right, is going to be required to worship the first beast. And the first beast is the Roman Catholic Church system. And the head of this system is the Pope, right? Which, you know, the Pope was put in place by way of Satan. That's why you see Satan in the background behind the two beasts, right? So yeah, cause it the earth and them to dwell therein to worship the first beast whose deadly wound was healed, right? And we already talked about, you know, the Roman Catholic Church system was wounded to death, right? As far as it lost its power when it ruled the world, right? Um, the reason why it lost its power, right, is because, you know, the Pope was taken captive. And from that point, I believe in, I forgot the specific date, but from that point on, that's when the Roman Catholic Church was wounded, right? Wounded to death, man. And they lost their power that they had in which they used to rule the world, right? For 1,260 years, which the Bible predicted, right? 1,260 years, you guys, from 538 to 1798, right? So yeah, keep this in mind, right? America is trying to establish, you know, to set itself up, right? So it can hand the keys to the Roman Catholic Church system, right? Which will eventually rule the world, right? So that's why this is important, recognizing things like this, all this chatter, right? In this next video I'm about to show y'all, this is I believe he's the third most powerful person in the United States government, right? This is the Speaker of the House. I believe his name is Mike Johnson or something like that, right? Notice that he's even saying the same things as far as trying to bring back the unification of church and state. Check this out.
Up. They wanted a vibrant expression of faith in the public square because they believed that a general moral consensus and virtue was necessary to maintain this grand experiment in self-governance that we created, a government of, by, and for the people. The separation of church and state is a misnomer. People misunderstand it. Of course, it comes from a phrase that was in a letter that Jefferson wrote. It's not in the Constitution. And what he was explaining is they did not want the government to encroach upon the church, not that they didn't want principles of faith to have influence on our public life. It was exactly the opposite. Washington said, of all the dispositions and habits which lead to political prosperity, religion and morality are indispensable supports. And John Adams came next and he said, our Constitution is made only for a moral and religious people. It is wholly inadequate to the government of any other. They knew that it would be important to maintain our system. And that's why I think we need more of that. Not an establishment of any national religion, but we need everybody's vibrant expression of faith because it's such an important part of who we are as a nation.
Oh, so as you guys can see, man, the third most powerful person in America, the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, right? This video came out this year. He's even, you know, chatting and speaking about the, the bringing back of, the, church and state being united. You get what I'm saying? So these are all signs, right? And they're planning, and we're going to get to that, what they're planning on doing in 2025, right? But so far, I just want you guys to see what's going on in the world as we speak. And this video was came out this year in 2024. As you can see, Speaker Johnson backs Trump in 2024, right? So that's interesting as well, right? How religion and politics are, religion is being involved in politics, right? And I forgot to add another video about Donald Trump. And, he's been endorsing the use of Christianity, right? And his, political backing, right? He's really speaking highly about, bringing and involving Christianity, right, in his, campaign to be the next president, for his second term, if he makes it, right? This will be his second term, right? And I know that sounds good. Like, what's wrong with, Trump trying to push Christianity, right? The thing is, right, using Christianity let me say it better. They're using Christianity to set the table for the mark of the beast, right? Can't no other religion prepare the way for the mark of the beast other than Christianity, right? Because, Christianity, right? When you mingle it with, paganism and things like that, you're one step closer to establishing the system that Rome ruled, the system of religion that Rome used to rule the world, right? So what they're trying to do is get Christianity in place, right? And then once they get Christianity in place, and using it to, enforce, to, to influence the world in a religious way, right? Now they can start tweaking things, right? And tweaking, things to go in a direction, to fall, in their laps so they can implement Roman rule, right? A worship structure that, honors the way Rome ruled, right? So that's very interesting, right? Satan isn't always going to make things look evil or sound evil. Sometimes they're going to sound good, just like he made things sound good when it came to Eve, right? When he deceived her. So that's exactly what these guys are doing, right? There's an agenda in play, right? Where they're using religion the same way Satan used, right? He used a religious front to deceive Eve, right? That when God told Eve not to eat from that tree, the tree of knowledge and good and evil, right? That was a religious declaration that God, told, Eve, Adam and Eve both, right? And Satan used that same premise, right, to question and deceive Eve, right? And he used the same thing that God said, but twisted it and used it against Eve. And this is the same premise that Satan is using to get this mark of the beast system in place. He's going to use Christianity and make it seem like a good thing, beneficial, but he's going to tweak it for his use and use it against us. You get what I'm saying? To bring about this mark of the beast system, right? But back to the review, man. So the first beast, right? Want to make sure you ain't forgot the first beast. The first beast of Revelation 13 is the Roman Catholic Church system led by the Pope, right? The second beast is America, right? The image of the beast, is church and state united, right? And then after that, what is the seal of God? And we already discussed the seal of God is his 7-day Sabbath, right? So then the next thing, what is the mark of the beast? And we discussed all these things in the prior podcast, right? We broke it all down prophetically and biblically speaking, right? But based on the Bible, we know the mark of the beast is the enforcement of Sunday rest, right? The enforcement of Sunday rest by the Catholic Church, right? And we know these things specifically because we learned who the beast is. We learned that the Roman Catholic Church system is the antichrist. It is the beast, right? So we went down, you know, memory lane, right? Going throughout history. And we, you know what I'm saying? We basically figured it all out and put the pieces, you know, of the puzzle together, right? I'm trying to show some videos that help, right? The little horn of Daniel 7 and the first beast of Revelation 13 are the same power, right? The same power which represents the Roman Catholic Church system, right? So we learn what the mark of the beast is, man, and we got to hear from the horse's mouth himself, right? The Roman Catholic Church, according to their literature, according to their, you know, their historical, you know, books of authority, right? It says exactly what the mark of the beast is. Check this out. Let me remove this. Check this out. Catholic Record, September 1st, 1923. It says, Sunday, this is the Roman Catholic Church leadership speaking, right? From the Pope to the cardinals to the bishops, right? It says, Sunday is our mark of authority, right? The church is above the Bible, and the transference of the Sabbath is proof of that, right? So this is the quote that the Roman Catholic Church system stands by even today, right? As far as the reason why, you know, things are the way they are when it comes to Sunday, right? And they also tell us what their mark of authority is, right? Mark of authority and mark of the beast is the same thing, right? So they're saying basically Sunday, you know, is the mark of the beast, Sunday rest, right? They're confirming that, right? The church is above the Bible, right? And the Roman Catholic Church system really does believe and live by that. They call themselves, you know, religious, you know, a religion of the, you know, the Bible, believing in Jesus and all that. But at the same time, they say the Roman Catholic Church is above the Bible, right? That's blasphemous, right? And I know a lot of people like to defend, you know, Sunday worship and resting on Sunday and Sunday being God's day and all those things, right? But all of those reasons that people believe Sunday is the Sabbath is false, right? Sunday was changed by the Roman Catholic Church from, you know, the Sabbath was changed by the Roman Catholic Church from Saturday to Sunday, right? As you can see on the screen, right? Check this out. Constantine's Sunday law issued in AD 321. Right? Let all judges and town people in occupation of all trades rest on the venerable day of the sun, right? So this is when the Sunday law was first put in place, right? By way of the Roman Catholic Pope Constantine, Emperor Constantine in 321 AD, right? So it's no coincidence, right, that things are going the way they are. It's no coincidence why this guy has Sunday on his forehead and Sunday on his right hand. It's no coincidence, because Sunday is the mark of the beast. And we already talked about what it means to, take the mark of the beast or receive the mark of the beast on your forehead or in your right hand. We already talked about it. Has nothing to do with a chip, technology, or any of that. It's about worship, right? God isn't concerned about, all those things regarding technology, DNA, and all these things. He's concerned about worship, right? When you read the book of Revelations, right, he causes both great, rich, and poor to receive a mark in their right hand and foreheads, right? And then when we read Revelation 13:12, worship the first beast, right? And these scriptures are synonymous with what already took place in the past, when it came to Nebuchadnezzar. And, in the book of Daniel, let's see if I can go to it. Check this out. As you can see, the image of gold. So this is similar. The principles are similar, right? They created an image, right? Their system was already in place with this image that they were, creating, that they were using this system to enforce their, the worship of this image, right? So during this time of King Nebuchadnezzar, church and state was, together, united, right? And because church and state was united, forced worship could take place like it did, right? So notice that the image of, let me make sure y'all can see. All right. So you see words like image, right? It was set up in Babylon. And then he summoned, right? He summoned everybody, right? The governors, advisors, treasurers, judges, magistrates, and all officials to come to the dedication he has set up, right? And they all came, right? Assembled for the dedication. Nebuchadnezzar set up and stood before it. Check this out. Then the herald loudly proclaimed, nations and peoples, every language, this is what you are commanded, right? You are commanded to do, right? As soon as you hear the sound of the horn, flute, pipe, and all kinds of music, you must fall down and worship the image, right? And whoever does not fall down and worship will immediately be thrown into the blazing furnace, right? So these principles are similar to the circumstances that will occur regarding this future, the coming of the mark of the beast, right? So that leads us to this now, you guys. It's very interesting how the culture is showing signs that the Bible is biblically accurate and the world is heading in the direction that God's word predicted, right? You see Kanye West, right? He at one point, right? He was on a movement that was, about Sunday, going to church on Sunday, right? Church service on Sunday and things like that, right? And I know at the time it went above our head, it went over our heads, right? Because we have no clue, right? But remember, church on Sunday, right? Resting on Sunday by way of the government, church and state, right? That is the enforcement of the mark of the beast, right? So what Kanye West was really doing is preparing the way for the mark of the beast. And we had no clue, right? And then I don't know if y'all familiar with this female rapper named Lotto, right? She has a song called Sunday Service, right? And both of these, rappers and, entertainers, right? They are proving the same principles that applied to Daniel 3, right? The governors and, everybody was involved. And when they heard the music, right, they had to worship the image, right? So, and today in our age, right, America, the culture is using entertainment industry, right, to promote, right, the mark of the beast, right? And it will continually be used to promote, right, their agenda, right? So this is just another short sign that we are nearing the mark of the beast and we're headed in the direction of the mark of the beast, right? We are near the return of Jesus, right? And we'll continue to see things like this. Kanye West Sunday service, right? Lotto Sunday service, right? And her song really isn't even about Sunday service, but the fact that it's named Sunday service, that's intentional, right? Those record executives, right? The A&Rs, right? They tell these people what to name songs, right? And these Jews that run the music industry, right? They're in harmony with the end time agenda of Satan, the mark of the beast, right? So they're putting the subliminals all in our face, right? Even Beyonce, right? She has a video where she's promoting Sunday sacredness, right? This is not a game. This ain't something I'm making up. Let me see if I can pull it up for y'all. Even Beyonce know about Sunday sacredness. Check this out.
Now that Sacred is known for the quality and what it does for your hair, I think it's about time I show y'all what it does for my hair. I love the lather. It's very
And this is her. She's promoting some type of hair thing that she has, ingredient or whatever, right? Her hair product. It's a product where it's called Sacred or something like that, right? And I'm about to fast forward just so you can see because it's near the end, right? Listen to her last words.
quality. I do use a tiny bit of moisture seal before flat ironing. The stigma and misconception is that people that wear wigs don't have long and guys. And I just ask that you continue to share your experiences with this brand.
Listen up.
I love y'all very much, and I hope y'all have a sacred Sunday.
Do y'all think that was by accident? Beyonce stated that she hopes that you guys, everyone who's listening, right, that we have a sacred Sunday, right? Keep in mind, Beyonce is a sun worshiper, right? And because she's a sun worshiper, she believes that Sunday is sacred, right? So that's no coincidence. That's not me stretching or making it up, right? So it's no coincidence why Beyonce is dressed up as a sun goddess. Neither Rihanna. She's dressed up as the Pope and a nun. Both of these things has Catholic, paying homage to the Catholic Church. And the reason why, because the Catholic Church is the antichrist, right? So all of this connects. And check this out, right? Remember Sunday service with Kanye West and Lotto. Check this out from 2015.
Debating a bill requiring every American to attend a church of their choice on Sunday to see if we can get back to having a moral rebirth.
Did y'all hear that? This is a video from 2015 where a specific, lady who's involved in the, government, right? She's recommending, right? Because I know the idea of, the mark of the beast, the government enforcing religious laws, resting on Sunday, going to church on Sunday. You just heard it.
Requiring every American to attend a church of their choice on Sunday to see if we can get back to having a moral rebirth.
So I know it may seem far-fetched, you guys, but peep game, man, because it's not, right? And not just that, right? They even got climate Sundays, right? So their remedy for what's going on in the world to fix the weather, right? Even though they got weather machines and they're the ones who doing all these things, right? They're going to use their remedy to what's going on is going to be Climate Sunday, right? Their remedy for everything that's going on to reboost the economy, to end, wars, and to bring peace and, to end the pestilence, right, is resting on Sunday, right? Because what they do, they cause these things, right? And then they provide a remedy to the things that they caused, right? So yeah, peep game, y'all. All of this stuff is just playing out right before us, and we ain't noticing none of this. It's happening right before us. What else did I want to show you guys? It just slipped my mind at the moment. I wanted to show you guys one more thing. So yeah, Sunday is coming, you guys. Sunday rest by law is coming. They're even planning on, changing laws. Check this out,
across the conservative movement of this whole effort, and that only makes it stronger.
There's a battle plan, plans, and giving the battle plan.
Urge a president to lead the way in changing the law.
And as you can see, they want to get this going by 2025, you guys, right? That's next year, right? The first day in office of the president, the next president. And check this out. One of the laws that they're changing, check this out. You see Sabbath rest, right? And which day do you think that they'll be resting? Which day do you think the secular world will be resting on for the Sabbath rest? Is it Saturday, God's day? That day would default to Sunday, as you can see, right? So it's all lining up as we speak. Church and state combining.
That is not
Right? Worship laws, the image of the beast being set up. You get what I'm saying? All of this to get the world, resting on Sunday so the government can enforce Sunday rest by law. And the mark of the beast, will be here that easy. You get what I'm saying? So peep game, people. This ain't a game, right? This is real life. Whether you believe it or not, rather you believe it, right? As we already spoke, Satan doesn't care whether you know the truth or not. He just wants you to comply. And those who just comply with Sunday law will receive the mark of the beast on their hand, right? He wants you to cooperate, right? As we already established in the prior podcast. And those who think they're doing a good thing by resting on Sunday because it is the Sabbath will receive the mark of the beast in their foreheads, right? So whether you comply because of ignorance or you rest on Sunday thinking that Sunday is the mark of the beast, is the true Sabbath. Satan is setting people up to be condemned. So peep game, people. God's true day, God's seal is his 7-day Sabbath, right? And we already spoke on this, right? God's seal, which has his title, his name, and his authority, right? His territory, I'm sorry. God's seal has his title, right? His name and his territory in his seal, right? as you just saw. The Lord is his name, creator is his title, and his territory is heaven and earth, right? And that applies to no day except the 7-day Sabbath. So peep game, man. Hopefully y'all recognize truth, man. Because if not, it's going to bite you in the butt, right? And it ain't no, grace ain't going to save you from this. Grace is either going to lead you to this truth, and you're going to comply with God and be saved by it, right? Or you're going to fall for the okie doke, right? The gray area is being removed. We either serve God, receive his law, and receive the righteousness of Christ, which leads to keeping God's, Sabbath, or do what thou will, rest on Sunday, cooperate, and be condemned and receive God's wrath. But that's not God's will, but unfortunately, it's going to happen. So, man, hopefully you was informed and you can see the culture knows what's going on, but do you? It's time to wake up, y'all. Peep game. Catch y'all next time. Step the message.